Okay, you're welcome to another episode of the Startup Growth Program, straightly brought to you by Startup Launch Code, a startup growth marketing agency focused at helping startups with growth strategies, irrespective of where you are at your startup stage. Startup Growth Program is a bi-weekly session where we discuss different topics as it relates to startup growth. So, if you are an aspiring founder or a founder who already has an existing product in the market and you're looking to learn ways and strategies that you can use to grow your startup into becoming a unicorn, then the startup growth program is a session you will never want to miss anytime it comes up. So today for the startup growth program, we'll be looking at an interesting aspect that is important for every startup to actually grow. So, what I'll be looking at today, we'll be looking at how startups can identify and adopt the right pricing strategy for the success of the startup. So, when it comes to growing a business or a startup, it is important for you to get your pricing right. So, I will advise you sit back, relax, get a pen, piece of paper, and get ready to learn from this amazing session. So, my name is no other person than Daud Kennedy, a startup growth specialist with Startup Launch Code. So what are the things we'll be looking at during the course of this particular session? So, I've broken down this particular topic into different aspect that I'll be looking at. So we'll be looking at introduction, then I'll help you understand what are the basics of pricing strategy. They'll be looking at some of the key factors that influence the pricing you decide to choose for your product or your startup in general. Then I will take a little dive into the type of pricing strategy that we have for startups, then help you guide you through how you can actually give you points on how you can choose the right pricing strategy for your business or for your startup. And we'll be looking at a simple case study of business or startup that has gone on to adopt the right pricing strategy to for its success. So, like I said, it's going to be an interesting session. So, I will advise you don't leave your seat as we go dive into what we have for today. So yeah, introduction. What is pricing? So you can see these are two jolly friends who are walking away when they actually saw the price tag of a particular product. So it simply means that for every successful business, you need to get your pricing right. If your pricing is right, people will buy your product. So is it important for you to get the right pricing for your product or service, as the case may be? So, effective pricing strategies is not a one fit size all. So, the kind of pricing strategy you adopt for your business A will definitely not be the same for product B, even if you have this different products on a particular as a founder, you have different products or different categories of products. You will not be adopting the same price strategies for them because it's not a one shoe fit all when it comes to pricing for your business or your service. There are so many things that you need to consider before you adopt the kind of pricing strategy you want to adopt. So, and another thing you need to know is that each pricing strategy are tailored to align with a unique characteristics and goal of the business. So the kind of pricing strategy you'll be adopting has to be unique to what your product offers, your competition, your the market itself. So there are so many things that need to go into when you want to pick the right pricing strategy for your product. So it's not a one fit size all, and your pricing strategy has to be unique to your product and the goal and what you want to achieve for your startups in general. So let's go in and see how you can do this for your business or startup. So, what exactly is pricing strategy? What is pricing? What is pricing strategy? So, you need to understand what this term means before you can even start to develop the pricing strategy you want to. So, what is pricing strategy? So when you talk about pricing strategy, it's just a systematic approach a business takes to set, adjust, and manage the prices of its product and service. Now, looking at this definition, you see that I highlighted three key important points, which is you are setting, you are adjusting, and you are managing the prices of your product. So it simply means as a business or as a startup, there are times where there will need for you to always set your price. There will be a time for you to adjust your price, and there will be a time where you need to manage that price. So depending on so many factors that will make you to pick these three key points. So first, you need to set the price. There are so many factors that want to make you to adjust the price. Probably the economic condition, the purchasing power of your customers. So you need to see, okay, this current situation of the economy, is this my price profitable to my business? Is this my price, is this something my customers can pay for? So there are times you need to adjust your pricing, and there are times where you need to manage your pricing. Probably you can't increase the price, then you might not think, oh, maybe I reduce the quantity of my product. So you need to always adjust and manage your pricing based on so many conditions I will be looking at during the course of this discussion. So when you're talking about pricing strategy, it's just a systematic approach where you need to set your price, adjust your price when the time arises, and also manage the prices of your product or your service. So that is simple definition of a pricing strategy. So, like I said, like I explained, so price strategy is not a one-time event. So it's not something that you pick or you set and you just leave it going for forever. So there are times where you need to adjust. There are times where you need to redefine your pricing based on so many conditions. So whether you're a startup, whether you're an established enterprise, you're a unicorn, is always important for you to always maintain profitability as a business. You need to be profitable, and you can't be profitable if you don't choose the right pricing strategy. And you also need to, like I said, there are so many things you need to consider: your audience, the market, the economic conditions. So these things have to be factored in when you're choosing the right pricing strategy for your business. So it's not a one-time thing that you just do and leave it forever. There's at times where you need to look at the situations and see if this your pricing is sustainable, is maintainable, or you need to adjust based on the realities on ground. So, what are the key factors that influences the pricing decision every business, most especially startups, need to take? So, there are certain factors that you need to look into when you're trying to pick the right pricing strategy. So, what are they? Yeah, let's talk about the cost. So, everything has to be the cost. What is the cost of production? What is the cost of rendering your service? So, cost is the amount associated with producing and delivering a product or service. So let's say you are an e-commerce platform. You need to look, okay, what does it cost you to have your business online? What does it cost you to get your product to the customer? What is the cost price of the product itself? So you need to factor in all these things, and then now put it into your pricing strategy. Are you a service provider? Do you provide, let's say, a digital marketing service, for example? And what does it cost you to acquire a customer? What does it cost you to rent your, let's say, to you rent your content person? What does it cost you for the tools you use to carry out your taxes? So you need to understand all these things and factor in the cost of actually producing your product and getting it to the user, or your service that you render to the user. So the cost of producing or delivering your service has to be the one of the most important things you need to consider when you are developing your pricing strategy. So, like I said, startup needs to factor in production costs, the operating expenses, and other overhead to establish a baseline for their pricing strategy. So, you need to know, okay, how much does it cost you to hire your developer to code your products? How much does it cost you to hire the marketer to market your product? How much it cost your customer service person to render customer service services? So you need to factor in everything. How much does it cost you to rent your office space? So you need to factor in so many things when you are coming up with your pricing strategy. So that is cost. Number two, number two is you can see these guys are competing. So another thing you need to consider is the market demand and competition. Yes, so market demand and competition plays a key role in pricing strategy. You don't want to put your the price you don't want to put the price on your product to be too small as compared what is available in the market. I don't want it to be too expensive than what you have in the market. So you need to learn and know how to create a balance between the existing price and what you are coming up with your own product. If your price is too low, people will assume your product is inferior to what they have or they already have in the market. And if it's too expensive, then your target audience might not be able to what to buy your product. So you need to always consider the market demand. How is the demand for your product now? The kind of demand you will have for, let's say, food service business will be different from what you have for other cleaning service business. So food is something that everybody needs. So the kind of pricing you put on that will differ from a cleaning service business. So you need to factor in the demand and the competition when you are coming up with your pricing strategy. So you need to understand and do a lot of research to know, okay, what is the price of a similar or a competition product or service in the market? What is the purchasing power of your customers? What is the demand for the product or service that you want to render? So that will give you an idea of, okay, what is the best price I can actually put this product into the market and people will be ready and willing to pay for that. So next is value proposition and customer segmentation. Yes, you need to, customer is always king, so you need to know what value does your customer have for this your product or your service. So what is the perceived value? Because people actually pay for the value they think they will be getting from a product than the product itself. So if you are selling a product, you need to know, okay, what is the value proposition or what is the perceived value of this your product. The higher the perceived value, the higher the better for you to have a good pricing and acceptability of your product. So you need to know what's the perceived value of your product or the service in the eye of your customer, and then you need to know, okay, are these my target customers? Do they have the purchasing power for this product that I'm ready to buy? So for example, you can see that when it comes to Apple products, you can see they have their own kind of market. They know they know how valuable or how their product is being perceived by this set of target audience, and that's why they are always ready to give us that price for all of their products. So you need to understand the value perception of the product and the market, the purchasing power of your market segment, so you are able to give them the right price for the right product. Yes, position within the market. What is your current position in the market? Are you the top? Are you one of the top players in your industry? So pricing reflects the startup market position strategy, whether it's positioned as a premium provider, a cost leader, or somewhere in between. So like Apple, I stated in my earlier discussion. So Apple has position themselves to be a premium product. So they know they are not just for everybody. They have their outside of others. So is let's say Mercedes, for example, Rolls Royce. You can see those set of products as classify themselves as a premium product, so they don't even they know how to position their product, they know how to position their price, and they know their target audience. And you can see that when it comes to their pricing, you can't compare the price of a Rolls Royce to that of a Toyota or what other car product I know. So you need to know what your position is in the market, and with that you are able to give the right pricing and to your audience. So now that I've looked at the different factors that can influence the pricing strategy to adopt as a startup, let's see what are the types of pricing strategy that are available for you as a startup. So yeah, let's get go. So the first one is cost plus pricing strategy. So this strategy involves calculating the total production cost of your product or service and adding a markup to determine the selling price. So just like I said, when you're looking at the factors that affect that need to be considered when or that affect your price, I said the first most important thing is the cost of production of your product or service. So when it comes to cost plus pricing, it simply means that you've calculated your overall cost that it takes for you to produce your product or service. So what you're not doing is just adding a certain percentage that is called a markup to determine the price. Let's say okay, after you've calculated your cost of production or your cost of service to your customer, you also okay, I want to add 12.5% of that as my as your own markup, and you add it to it, and that will be your selling price. So that is a very simple definition of the cost plus pricing strategy. And the second one is the value based price. So in this strategy, the price is set based on the perceived value of the product or service in the market of the customer. So you are looking at okay, how valuable does this my customers or my target audience view this product, and you are using that as a yardstick to determine the price. So if you say that okay, my customers have as placed as a high value for this product, you are able to increase your price. Or if you say that okay, I just coming into the market and the perceived value is not that strong, you can say okay, let me bring it down a bit to get people to actually see the value there. You can now shut it up when you say that okay, people are giving enough value to your product and they are always ready to pay a higher price because of the value they've placed on such product or service. So value price based pricing is just you placing your price based on the perceived value of your products by the customers. So the next one is competitive pricing. So pricing is determined by considering the prices charged by competitors for similar product or service. Yes, after you factor in probably your cost of production or running your service, you say okay, how much is other competitors charging for this particular product or service, and you're able to like either match them in price or come a little bit lower so that you can get a good market share as well. So I'm just looking at what your competitors are doing in time of price and just either beating them to it or going a bit higher than your competitor. So depending on what you feel is going to work for your product and service, while still thinking about profitability, since you are not a free since you are not into the business of making profit and not just a free service provider. So the next is dynamic pricing. So dynamic prices are adjusted in real time based on various factors such as demand, competitors' price, and time of the day. So there are certain products there are certain service or product uses this particular strategy. So what they do is what these prices are not stable. They change based on certain condition, which might be demand and supply, with my competitors' pricing, or time of the week or season as it were. So let's say for example umbrella are more expensive during the rainy season because everybody needs umbrella, so the price of umbrella is always at a higher price during the rainy season than it is when it's during the cold or harmattan season. So these prices, dynamic pricing, are just you not having a stable price but having a price that changes based on certain condition and certain factors surrounding your product or the service you render. So the next is the freemium models. I think most software as service business uses this model where they give free version or basic version of their product and for free, and expect their users to upgrade to a more advanced version or premium version after they've paid. So freemium is just we are getting people to use your product, certain aspect of your product for free, and if they want to get more value, then they need to upgrade and pay for the additional service or features of that particular product. So another one is the subscription based model. So a subscription based model is getting customers to pay a recurring fee at regular interval. So you subscribe probably weekly, daily, weekly, monthly, or even yearly, biannual, depending on what works for your business. So at the software service based companies or service provider also does this as well. So where you get people to subscribe, use your product, the full feature of your product without you limiting anything, and just get them to resubscribe each time they exhaust their duration of subscription, which can be weekly, monthly, depending on whatever duration they pick or you have available to them. So those are the different pricing strategies that we've looked like. So there are 6 of them. We looked at the cost plus pricing strategy, the value based pricing, competitive pricing, the dynamic pricing, freemium, and the subscription based model. So those are the some of the pricing model or strategy that you can adopt for your business. So let's see how can you identify the right pricing strategy for your product or service as a startup. So what are the things you need to look at? So number one is assess your startup unique value proposition. So your unique value proposition is that thing that sets you apart from your competitors and or other service provider. So you need to know what makes you different, what makes you unique, what makes you stand out from your product, from your competitors. So if you're able to identify what makes you stand out and use that to sell your product, then you are able to distinct yourself and your product from your competitors. So you need to know, okay, this is what make me different, this is what make me strong, this is what make me beat my competitors, so you should get me. So you are able to get that uniqueness of your product, then you are good to go with actually determining the best price for your product or service. Number two is you need to understand your customer needs and preference. Yes, what does your customer want? Are they people who are price sensitive? That the customer, before they even learn about the product, they want to know, okay, how much will this cost me? So you need to know what kind of customers you are dealing with. What do they need? What is their preference? You need to know. With that, you are able to know, okay, with these guys be able to pay for this my product if I set the price to this. So you need to understand your customers, their value, their pain points. What do they want to solve? What is their preference? So you need to understand that when deciding or determining your pricing strategy. So the next thing is to analyze your competitor's pricing strategy. Yes, what is your customer currently offering? What is pricing or model are they using? What pricing value are they using? So you need to understand as well. So when you are able to do that, you need to know, okay, do I give my customers the same pricing? Do I go a little bit lower, or do I increase my own price based on your unique value proposition? So if you have a very strong unique value proposition that you feel and you know is better than your competitor, there is no worry when you go into the market with a price higher than what your competitors are offering. As long as you are able to prove that yes, you are better than your competitors, people will actually buy your product. So you need to analyze your product, your competitors pricing, and use that to determine what you want to do as well. Then another thing to consider is evaluate the economic environment. Yes, you can't run a business in silo. Yes, the economy has a huge influence on business and consumers as well. So you need to know at this point of the economy, is this pricing the best thing I can give to my customers? If you are let's say you are an economy that is unstable, where there is high inflation, and you are bringing out a product that is very expensive, see that people will not even look at your side. But you need to understand, okay, well, how is this how is the economy affecting your business, how is it affecting the purchasing power of your customers. Then with that, you can now use that to determine your pricing. Is it that you reduce the pricing? Is it that you give them option to for installment payment? So depending on what you feel is going to be the best solution to whatever economic situation you are at the moment, then you need to factor in that when you are coming up with your pricing strategy. So yeah, now that we've looked at what pricing strategy is, we've looked at the factors that affect pricing strategies, we've looked at the different type of pricing strategies and what you need to look out for when you want to determine your pricing. So let's look at the case study of a successful business that has adopted a good pricing strategy and are winning the race in their industry. So yeah, we're looking at the Apple iPhone pricing strategy. So Apple is not an unknown brand when it comes to technology devices, from our phone to PC to smartwatch and the rest. So let's see what did Apple did right when it comes to their pricing strategy. So a little background of what Apple. So Apple revolutionized the smartphone industry, yes, and with introduction of iPhone in 2007, the initial iPhone pricing strategy was based on one, product differentiation and premium pricing. So what Apple did was they classify themselves from all other type of smartphones. So all smartphone was running on Android. What they did was come up with their own iOS, and yeah, so they did product differentiation, different, make sure that their product is different from what already exists in the market, and they also choose the premium pricing. So they didn't just go for regular pricing as okay, let's flood the market with our phone. They classify themselves, and yeah, it's paying off to this. So how did they do this? So key elements of Apple iPhone pricing strategy: one, value-based pricing, like we discussed. So value-based pricing is that what they position, the price their product based on the perceived value of their cost of their product. So it's focused on perceived value of iPhone as a premium cut-edging device with a sleek design, innovative feature and a user-friendly interface. So they ensure that okay, they increase the perceived value of their product by positioning themselves or positioning iPhone as one, a premium device with cutting-edge technology with very sleek design, very fine. We look at Apple iPhone, is always what very the design is always top notch with so much amazing feature and user in friendly interface. So using this, they are able to increase the perceived value of their product, so that once they answer okay, this is how much you want to sell the new latest iPhone, people are ready to buy because of what? Because of how they are able to increase the perceived value of their product. Even you look at how anytime they want to launch a new iPhone, there's always a big event. People are always glued to their TV to watch the new, what is the latest feature that wants to be launched, what is the latest design that Apple is bringing out. So they ensure that they increase the perceived value with everything they do about iPhone, and that they are charging a premium price for their particular product. All they do this was skimming strategy. So Apple adopt a skimming strategy, initially setting high prices to capture early adopters and tech enthusiasts willing to pay a premium for the latest technology. Then as demand stabilized, they gradually lower the price, allowing iPhone to reach broader market. So what they do is what, at the point of launch, they ask people to pre-order. So people are, as it's coming out, people are pre-ordering. Okay, this is the amount, this is the first set of amount we are launching out. You can pre-order. I see that in a couple of days, the latest iPhones are always sold out, because what they do is what they've increased the perceived value. That's number one. Then they are taking advantage of that premium passive value of that product, so that to get daily adopters to buy at higher price, and when the first stage is over, they can now lower the price a bit, where other regular guys can now buy into the product. So with this, they are able to increase their market share. They are able to increase the number of people who are willing to pay a premium for their products anytime they are launching. So another thing Apple did nicely was ecosystem locking. So what they did was that they didn't just give us an iPhone. They announced, okay, with an iPhone you can also get your Apple MacBook, you can get your iPad, you can get your Apple wristwatch, you can get your Apple what's it called, AirPods. So they are ensuring that you are you are locked in into an ecosystem. So somebody that bought that has an Apple MacBook will certainly want to have an Apple iPhone. We certainly want to have an Apple smartwatch. We certainly want to have an Apple AirPod. So they ensure that you are captured into, I don't know if the word captured is not too strong. So you are being locked in into what, into thinking about Apple for everything that has to do with gadgets. So you're looking at your phone, is Apple. You're looking at your wristwatch, is Apple. You're looking at your AirPod, is Apple. You're looking at your phone and other devices, Apple. So they are making sure that, okay, when it comes to gadgets and technology, you are drinking, you are sleeping, you are thinking of Apple. So that's called locked. So this strategy encourages customers to invest in their products, thereby increasing their brand loyalty, increasing customer lifetime value. Because as you are buying their laptop, you are buying their iPad, you are buying their phone, so you are just within the ecosystem. They are just getting you to continue to buy from them. So that is another good thing that Apple was able to do successfully, and that has made them stand out as one of the leading brand when it comes to technology. So yeah, regular updates every year. There's something new they want to bring out. Even if the changes are not minute, you can see this year they want to increase the number of cameras. They want to increase the number of pixels of the camera. They want to move the button from left to the right. They want to move the camera from top to bottom. So they are just looking for a way just to upgrade their product and just release something every year. With this, they are able to what, to get people to part away with their money while still producing value for the money that people are spending on their products. So what is the outcome of all this pricing strategy? One, brand loyalty. So Apple brand pricing strategy contribute to the development of a highly loyal customer base willing to pay premium for Apple products. So if Apple is launching a new product today, there are certain people who are always ready to be the first person that always want to get that product. So with this, they are able to build a very strong brand loyalty with their customer. They are one of the most profitable tech based companies in the world with their financial success. And they are dominating the smartphone industry. Yes, nobody's beating that with they're taking away that from there. So when it comes to technology, they are one of their dominance in the market cannot be overstated. So yeah, long time success. They are churning in profits year in year out based on their strategy. So looking at what Apple has done, so is a good thing to study what they did right, and you can also replicate or learn one or two things from them. So as a business, profitability is a no-brainer if you really want to run a successful business. And you can't run a successful business, you can't be profitable if you don't have the right pricing strategy. So identifying the right pricing strategy is the first way to growing a profitable and sustainable startup. So I hope you really enjoyed this particular session, and if you have any questions, need an inquiry, or you need to have like a one-on-one growth strategy session with any of our growth specialists, feel free to reach out to us on any of our social media handles. We are on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Facebook. And yeah, you can check out our website as well as www.startuplaunchco.co. We are always willing to jump on a call with you and help you discover that growth strategy for your startup. So till we meet in another session, yeah, do have a lovely week, and yeah, keep building and keep succeeding. Cheers.